Welcome to our professional development session, Teaching Science with Simulations. Let's make it real. Intended audience today is for our secondary science teachers. The purpose of this session is for teachers to become aware of the use of simulations in the classroom as an instructional tool and how to integrate these into your curriculum. What are simulations? They are computational models of real or hypothesized situations or natural phenomena that allow users to explore the implications of manipulating or modifying parameters within them. Why teach with simulations? Simulations help students have a deeper understanding of science concepts. Have you ever become frustrated because no matter how many different instructional methods you use to teach a concept, your students still could not fully understand that concept because it was too abstract or not visual? Well, simulations are a great instructional tool to help with these matters. Simulations can promote a deeper understanding of science concepts by providing real-world situations where students can manipulate variables and view cause and effect relationships. For example, observing the effects of an increase in a predator in a food chain. Simulations can also provide for investigating phenomena inaccessible in the classroom. Abstract concepts are taught by animating what is invisible to the eye, helping students have a deeper understanding of concepts, such as building molecules, bending light, or observing the effects of gravity. Simulations also provide for interactive labs that are inaccessible due to financial or safety constraints. Simulations are also a great way for teachers to differentiate instruction by providing multiple representations of concepts that help the visual and kinesthetic learner. They also help students with orthopedic disabilities that have trouble working in the lab with their hands. And many provide multiple language art choices to help your ESL students. Simulations help teachers incorporate the International Society for Technology Education Standard, number 1C, where students demonstrate creative thinking, construct knowledge, and develop innovative products and processes using technology. They use models and simulations to explore complex systems and issues. And finally, simulations support the next generation of science standards through increasing student science process skills through manipulating, testing, predicting, questioning, observing, and making sense of the natural and physical world. Let's begin showing you a resource, online resource, PhET. This is one example of the use of simulations in the classroom. Here is the PhET website, which is a free website. You can basically log in, register, develop your login information. Before we begin showing you how to use a specific simulation to enhance your students' knowledge, just go through the website quickly. Here are the different simulation topics or subject matters for physics, biology, chemistry, and earth science. Also, we have teacher resources that provide us with tips for using PhET. We can browse different activities that other teachers have developed, lesson plans, activities, lectures on the simulations. And here's a section where you can share all your activities that you have developed for other teachers. There's a section for translating the website into multiple languages for your ESL students. So let's show you how we would use a simulation in the classroom. Okay, so we'll go to biology, and I'm going to scroll down to the simulation on natural selection. Natural selection is a concept that is a real-world, provides a real-world situation that's hard for students to understand because evolution occurs at such a slow rate. So we will show you how this theory of natural selection is demonstrated, where we can manipulate variables, analyze the results. So I'm going to go ahead and download a simulation, pull it up for you. All right, so here we have a simulation on rabbits and different variables we can actually use. We'll go ahead and add a friend to let the population of rabbits multiply. We'll add another genetic allele or brown fur. Let this generation run. Let the population develop. About 3 generations. And then we'll stop. We'll have our students graph the data for the population of the white rabbits and brown rabbits. And here we will add a variable, which would be a predator. And this way the students can observe now environmental effect that's going to cause some changes in the population over time and allow them to see that specific trait. Okay, if it is beneficial to this organism, they will pass this trait on to generation. So we'll go ahead and allow it to run for a couple of generations. And then we will stop, and as you can see, we'll have our students graph the data of the number of white rabbits and brown rabbits after we have introduced this environmental factor of the predator into our situation. So this is a great way to provide a real-world situation where students manipulate and they analyze the effects of an environmental factor of predators on the population of rabbits over time. Let's show you another one. So we'll go to chemistry and we'll go to acid-base solutions. We'll go ahead and download that. Okay, this is another great simulation for you to provide an abstract concept such as molecules, acids, and bases, where students can visualize those ions in solution to help them truly understand what it means to be an acid or a base. So here we have click on strong acids, so we can actually visualize the hydronium ions and hydroxide ions in a weak acid solution. Students can also test the pH by interacting with the little pH paper and looking at the code to determine the pH of a solution of a weak or strong acid, and look and visualize the quantities of those ions in solution. So we can go to weak and do the same thing where the students can actually visualize a weak acid, the number of hydronium ions and hydroxide ions in a weak acid. Again, they can test this and do this for strong and weak bases. So this is a great way for students to visualize those molecules so they can truly understand what it means to be an acid base and a strong acid versus a weak acid, or a strong base versus a weak base. Okay. So that was a great resource for you to use, PhET. So how can we implement this into our classroom? First, we need to make sure that instructors need to be prepared to give these simulations to the students, not just as a game, but for a purpose. So in preparing lesson plans, we want to make sure that we incorporate curriculum objectives. We give the students some procedures or instructions to follow and give them some questions to analyze the results and truly understand the concept. We want to make sure that our students are actively involved in problem solving and give them time to reflect on the simulation results. So here's an example of a lesson plan that actually came from the PhET website on the natural selection simulation I showed you. And notice this was developed where the teacher developed this worksheet that had the curriculum objectives, gave them instructions on how to use the simulation, and then lastly, some analysis questions for them to analyze the results of the simulation. So let's summarize what we've learned today. So simulations are a great way to engage our students, provide them a deeper understanding of science concepts by allowing them to manipulate, test, predict, and question and observe and make sense of the natural and physical world. And then we introduce you to one simulation website, PhET, that we want you to begin using. So where do we go from here? We would like for you to start using Fit in Your Classroom. And we would like for you to join our share community where we can share ideas and discuss the use of these simulations in the classroom. And then we're going to provide you with some other resources that have other simulation websites. So the share community is going to be on Classroom 2.0. So we'll go ahead and log in there for you. So once you logged in, you can register and go onto groups and search for our group name, Livingston Parish Science Secondary Science Teachers. And on this group, we have our resources, the PowerPoint for teaching with simulations. Here is a worksheet that has different other website resources for other simulations you can use in your classroom. And here's where we're going to discuss and share ideas that we're going to have. So I hope you enjoyed your professional development session today, and you begin using simulations in your classroom, and look forward to collaborating with you on the community of Classroom 2.0.